If you're a QuickBooks customer looking to grow without the growing pains, you need the Intuit ERP, the AI native ERP that upgrades right from QuickBooks. Learn more at intuit.com/ERP.
If you've ever blasted synth beats from your boombox or burned CDs for your besties, this one's for you. As people get older, much like their music tastes, their health needs change. AG1 is the simple daily health drink designed to deliver over 75 essential daily nutrients and pre- and probiotics to support energy, digestion, and mood. So you can make the most out of every decade and dance break. Learn more at drinkag1.com.
Welcome to Holocron History, Star Wars Canon versus Legends, where we take a deep dive into the Star Wars universe such as characters, creatures, stories, and so much more. Hosted by Ben of Temeria and Kodojo.
Welcome back, Acolytes, Adepts. Oh my, I had a brain fart right off the get-go. Wow. Welcome back to Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon, or also known as Ben of Temeria, and always with me is my good friend, Kodojo.
Hello there.
And today, we are bringing you another bounty hunter. Because, bounty hunters are cool. But this bounty hunter... There's a lot to this bounty hunter, surprisingly, because it's Bossk. We're diving into Bossk's history, and he has a lot. Surprisingly, kind of, not really. We already knew he had a lot, but comics are a thing.
Yeah.
So. Be prepared for mispronunciations because Trandoshans have long freaking names as much as freaking Wookiees do. Yippee. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say about that.
And I would like to point out, no one knew how to pronounce Kashyyyk until Revenge of the Sith.
Fair point. That's a fair point. Thank you. Thank you for that, because words are hard. I need a button for that.
I mean, there's 3 Y's in Kashyyyk. Why?
Because why not? Knee slapper. Anyway, let's get into Bossk's early life. So Bossk, born to the name Bossk Waska Kradosk, was the son of Kradosk, a Trandoshan bounty hunter. Immediately after his hatching, Bossk devoured the egg nests of his siblings and went to claim that he was the sole survivor of his clutch. In reality, his sister Dashalana Lawok survived. From his father, Bossk learned how to boost and steal a land speeder, as well as inherited both his father's and Trandoshan species' long-standing hatred for the Wookiees of Kashyyyk.
Okay, so one, I didn't know he had a sister. Yeah. One, I didn't know he had a sister. That's new. Second, it's interesting his father's first name is his last name. That's kind of...
last name, quote, in quotations, because it's all hyphens. Like, Bossk, apostrophe, Waska, apostrophe, Kardosk. So I don't think have surnames. It's just one long name, and they probably have their father/mother's name at the end of their actual given name.
Well, and this is sort of what I'm getting into. It's sort of like in the northern regions of Europe, like Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark. Mm-hmm. They didn't have surnames. They were like, son of Peter. So it was Peterson.
Right.
Would be their... Right. So that's why I'm alluding to. It's like almost the same thing with this.
Right. That's fair. So when Bossk reached maturity, he followed in the footsteps of his father and became a bounty hunter. Looking back on his childhood, Bossk regarded fathers as overrated and was uncomfortable with people asking questions about his early life.
Is he a late bloomer emo?
I mean, maybe?
Regarding fathers is overrated. Wow.
So in 22 BBY, the Galactic Republic entered the Clone Wars with the Confederacy of Independent Systems. Entering the profession during the war, Bossk quickly established himself as a bounty hunter trade, becoming known far and wide for his skills of tracking, capturing, and blackmailing enemies of crime lords and tyrants across the galaxy. He also gained notoriety as an exceptionally skilled hunter of Wookiees.
Yeah, and we'll touch about this in the next bullet point, but Trandoshans have a high regard for hunting.
Yes, the Great Hunt.
Yes.
Which is something in Trandoshan
religion. Read the next. Yeah, I was gonna say read the next bulletin board.
Right.
Yeah.
So he was also a member of the Bounty Hunters Guild. I am too. If you go to Batu, an institution that regulated the bounty hunting trade. At some point during his career as a bounty hunter, Bossk attained a modified YV-666 light freighter that was named the Houndstooth. This versatile ship became his main transport during his career as a bounty hunter. Bossk was a fervent believer of the Trandoshan goddess known as the Scorekeeper, and believed that he was favored by the deity above all other hunters.
Okay, so Trandoshans believe in the goddess Scorekeeper. And the whole point of this is that you hunt and you get points for the hunt.
Mm-hmm.
And when you die, your points are tallied up, and that's how well you did in life. And I guess depends on how well your afterlife is.
Right. Yes. Cool thing about this is if you go play SWTOR, specifically if you play the Jedi Counselor storyline, your first companion is a Trandoshan, and he's staying with you specifically to redeem his score with the Scorekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do something against, Trandoshan culture or something like that, you lose points as well. So now diving into the Clone Wars. So during the open conflict of the Clone Wars, the first battle of Geonosis, renowned bounty hunter Jango Fett was killed by Jedi Master Mace Windu, leaving Jango's young son Boba orphaned. Early in the war, Boba was taken under by Jango's former associate Aurora Singh, who, along with Bossk, mentored and trained the young Fett as part of a bounty hunting crew.
Now this would probably be the beginning of a very long relationship between Bossk and Boba, because we see those two in Empire Strikes Back on the bridge of one of the Star Destroyers. I'm not sure
Vader's executor.
Yeah, which was also the first scene you ever see of Bossk.
Yes, that was the first time we ever seen Trandoshan. It was in that scene, which was really, really cool. So Bossk and a Clantunian bounty hunter hired by Singh named Katis also schemed with Aurora to help Boba exact revenge on Windu. Sometime later, the group initiated their plan and had Boba infiltrate the Venator-class Star Destroyer Endurance, which at the time was host to Windu. Boba, whose father was the genetic donor to what eventually became the Republic's clone army, was able to easily disguise himself as a cloned cadet.
To be fair, he was an unaltered clone, so the 10 years between the creation of the clones and when the war started, he was only 10 years old, so he was still looked like a young clone cadet.
Yes, because he drew normally.
Compared
he aged normally. He's exactly the same as any other human, compared to the clones where they rapidly grow.
Yeah, and I think that was part of the contract, that he want not only a large sum of money, but also an unaltered clone he could call his son, essentially.
Yep. So while Boba was on the Endurance, Bossk and Aurora followed the cruiser and Jango's ship, the Slave One. Aurora kept in contact with Boba, instructing him on what to do. Their first plan to kill Windu by placing an explosive in his quarters failed, and Aurora decided to have Boba take down the entire ship. She told him to destroy the Endurance's reactor core, which caused a chain reaction and damaged much of the ship's hull. Boba and the cadets he was with were sent to the escape pods.
Yeah, and Boba had much more training than any clone cadet at this point as well.
Debatable. Maybe.
Well, the clone cadet's probably only like 2-3 years old.
Yeah, but the amount of training they do every single day to get to the point for that, compared to Boba, where who knows how long, like when he actually started training with Jango.
Yeah.
So the young fat sabotages his pod, sending it carrying away from where the clones had planned to rendezvous. Bossk and Singh located the pod and had it docked to the Slave One. The two hunters opened the hatch to the pod, and they were greeted by Boba. While Aurora and Boba debated on what to do with the three cadets in the pod, Bossk went back to the front of the ship and were prepared to take off. After detaching the pod, Bossk piloted the ship to the planet of Vancouver, where the Endurance had crashed.
I like the fact that Boss is like, I ain't getting paid enough to argue. I'm just gonna go get stuff ready here.
And those three cadets are dead, by the way.
Oh, did they die?
I'm pretty sure they died. He detached them, I think, while it was open. Maybe. Yeah. I don't remember. I think they died. Once on Vancouver, the bounty hunters searched the wreckage of the Endurance for survivors. They executed several clone troopers who had survived and took 3 hostages: Admiral Solon Killian, Commander Pons, and another naval officer. Once they had cleared the wreck, they sent a trap for Windu, knowing he would also search the wreck for survivors.
I'm pretty sure a vast majority of junior naval officers were clones as well.
Yes, they were. So inside the command bridge, Jango Fett's helmet was wired to an explosive that would set off once it was moved or touched. After completing their task, Bossk and the others returned to the Slave One with their hostages. Bossk, Boba, Aurora, and the Cassus watched from afar as Mace Windu and his fellow Jedi Anakin Skywalker entered the wreckage, and later watched as the bridge exploded. Boba wanted to make sure that the Windu was dead, but Aurora told him that it would be nothing to find if they searched for a body.
No, see, I disagree with that. Make sure the target is dead. Make sure the job's finished, at least.
Right? Like, it's dumb not to do anything.
Yeah. And I love the conversation that Windu and Anakin have here. And Anakin says, well, we're going to go after this kid, right? And Windu's like, what's the point? There's, no real reason to do that. It says, 1, he tried to kill you. 2, he took down a Star Destroyer. 3, he killed God knows how many clones. Mm-hmm. He's not going to stop until you're dead. We got to catch him and put him in prison.
Right. So Contis complained to Bossk about the idea of having to stay on Vancouver any longer, given not only the large population of Gundarks, but also the fact that they were carrying hostages. Aurora reminded him that they would sell them to the Separatists, and the instance of Boba was convinced that giving the Separatist proof of Windu and Skywalker's death would also fetch a price. Aurora, Boba, and Cassus boarded speeder bikes to head to the crash site, while Bossk was ordered to watch the hostages. While trying to navigate the wreckage of the Endurance, Singh, Cassus, and Boba were nearly killed by falling debris and explosions.
See, Bossk is smart. He's taking the easy job right now. I ain't going to that wreck that's falling apart.
Yep. So, despite Boba's willingness to continue to the bridge, Singh and Cassus decided it would be better to blow up the rest of the wreckage and turn back. Bossk, meanwhile, had tied the 3 hostages together and was dragging them aboard the Slave One. Aurora contacted him as doing so and told him to fire up the ship, and they were going to destroy the rest of the Endurance. Bossk replied that he would have the ship ready when they arrived.
And it's like, oh, I'm not leaving you guys out here where you can run. I'm putting you back in the ship.
Yeah, like, Bossk is doesn't take any crap at all. Like, I'm going to do the bare minimum and do what I need to do, and if they need to kill, I'll kill.
I like the fact that he's a smart one. He's going to make things as simple as possible for him.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. So while Singh and the others were back to the Slave One, they noticed an explosion nearby. Aurora command Bossk and calmed Bossk and demanded how wouldn't know what it was. Bossk looked on the ship's scanners and saw they had picked up something near where the Jedi had landed their starfighters. Singh told Bossk to jam any communications heading off the planet before the hunters continued their way back to the Slave One.
More support work.
Yeah. Once they loaded the speeder bikes, Bossk took off and flew the ship towards the wreckage. While flying low, they noticed a Jedi starfighter not far to the right. Cassus and Boba recognized the ship as Windu's, and Aurora told Bossk to follow it and destroy it. Boba fired on the ship as it flew along the length of the Star Destroyer and continued firing on it as Bossk followed it into the atmosphere.
I'm pretty sure this is R2's attempt to flee and get back to Curse for help.
Yes, I believe so. So as the Starfighter neared the two hyperspace rings, Bossk told Boba that he was not in close range and would have to take one shot at destroying them. Boba destroyed one ring, but the Starfighter entered the second one and entered light speed. With the ship gone, Bossk and Aurora what their next steps was, and was opened the hatch to the hostages and decided that they would need to be perfect bait for Windu. Aurora turned back to Bossk and said that they would need to do that was to regroup. Unbeknownst to the hunters, Windu had never left Vancouver. While both Windu and Skywalker had survived the explosion of the bridge, they were trapped under the debris. Skywalker's astromech droid R2-D2 had taken Windu's starfighter and was looking to contact the Republic to ask for aid, which arrived soon after and saved the two Jedi.
Yeah, at that point, just take your losses and leave.
Yes. Oh,
just
absolutely.
Leave.
Just get out. Get out while you have a chance to live.
You got a Republic Admiral. Cash in, man. Just cash in.
Mm-hmm. So while Bossk piloted the Slave One through space, Aurora and Boba recorded a message for the Jedi showing the hostages to the Jedi. Aurora demanded Boba kill pawns, which he could not bring himself to do. Aurora angrily did so herself, and she taunted Windu to find them before the other hostages were killed. Returning to the cockpit, Aurora told Bossk and Cassis that it would only be a matter of time until the Jedi tracked them down.
Especially since he killed one of the hostages.
Mm-hmm. But it's pawns, so is a clone.
Well, I think it was one of the junior officers.
It was Commander Pawn, which I'm pretty sure Commander Pawn was a clone. Pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh.
Commander Pawns. CT-411, known as Clone Commander Pawns. So yes, it was the clone commander for Windu's unit. So Cassis told Aurora that he was over his head, citing the haptized planning and increasing stakes. Annoyed by Cassis' cowardice, Aurora turned to Bossk and asked him if he was having any doubts as well. Bossk denied doubting her plan and told her that he wouldn't back out, saying that it was not riding on or on killing Windu and that he needed the cash. So,
I think he kind of knew I think he knew Singh well enough to know not to try across her, otherwise she will kill him.
Yeah, but I mean,
she is crazy like that.
The thing with Trandoshans is they can regenerate. So,
well, limbs, yeah, but blaster holes are another thing.
Yeah, you could regenerate one. I mean, if you cut off a freaking arm with a lightsaber, they can still grow it back.
Yeah, but blaster to the heart. Good luck with that.
Maybe they have regeneration. You never know. So Cassis, however, told Aurora that he was dropping off the mission. Singh told Bossk to set a course for Florum, where they would visit an old friend of hers, and Cassis could find a place to go. On Florum, the hunters landed in the fortress of the Onaka Gang, a pirate group led by Aurora's former partner, Hondo Onaka. While Singh, Boba, and Cassis left for the ship to meet with Onaka, Bossk stayed behind to watch from the entrance to Slave One, and later re-entered the ship when Onaka brought his visitors inside for drinks. Because Bossk isn't an idiot when it comes to Hondo. Because they would straight up take the Slave One in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, while at the bar of the fortress, Aurora noticed Cassis attempting to sell information on her location to a contact of his and shot him in the head. Bossk, meanwhile, watched Slave One scanners for any ships entering the atmosphere. The scanners picked up a Jedi craft and alerted Aurora. Singh ordered him to take the Slave One to the outskirts of Florum and prepared the hostages.
See, that's a good employee on the job, staying on your toes there.
Absolutely. So the Jedi who arrived on Florum wasn't Windu, but Jedi Master Plo Koon and Padawan Ahsoka Tano. Singh set up a trap for Windu inside Onaka's bar, but when she realized that Windu had not come, she contacted Bossk and told him to execute the hostages when she gave the order. Shortly after, however, Tano cut Aurora's comlink Atina, and Bossk was unable to reach her. Bossk decided that if he didn't hear from her, he would kill the hostages and leave aboard Slave 1. Meanwhile, in Onaka's fortress, Kun and Tano managed to gain the upper hand from Singh and Boba, taking the latter captive.
See, I think this is where Bossk misplayed his hand. He says instead of waiting from her, he should have just taken the hostages, gone to the CSI, sold off the hostages, and just left.
And just cash in everything and just leave.
Yeah,
I would.
Oh yeah,
and have the Slave 1.
Hey,
Have a ship. So, Singh abandoned Boba to the Jedi and escaped on a speeder bike, followed closely by Tano. Boba gave Kun the location of the Slave 1, and Tano went to rescue the hostages. As Bossk aimed the hostages, Tano arrived and fired at him from her speeder. Bossk jumped from the ground and avoided the blaster fire, dropping his rifle in the process. Tano freed the two hostages and freed Killian, picked up Bosk's rifle and aimed it at him. Just then, Singh arrived and crashed her speeder into Tano's, destroying both in an explosion. Singh ran aboard the Slave 1 and prepared to leave, but Tano used her lightsaber to destroy the wing. The ship came spiraling down to the ground, exploding while Singh's still inside.
Yep.
So,
but
yeah, that's a lot.
Yep. That was, again, misplay on Bosk's part there. Just no communication. Oh, they're compromised. Bye.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. But with that said, let's take a quick mid-break, thank our patrons, and we'll be right back.
This summer, say I do.
I am marrying a stranger.
Like never before.
Am I crazy?
It's a whole new Married at First Sight on Peacock.
Thank God I woke up in love.
With new experts.
My name is Dr. Lisa.
My name is Paul Brunson.
More couples.
This could be the start of a very successful marriage.
And more surprises.
Or maybe not.
Everything is just not enough.
You're a little bit crazy.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I want my fairy tale ending.
Married at First Sight, now streaming. New episodes Thursdays, only on Peacock.
Choice Hotels get you more of what you value. Comfort Inn, it's calling your name. Save on the stay. Oh, and free waffles are yours to claim. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
All right, welcome to the middle of the show. We're talking about everything on the podcast. This has nothing to do with the lore of Star Wars. Here, we want to thank all of our amazing patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. And if you too want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/holocronhistories, where you can add free episodes or even join us once a month on the show itself. You can leave us rating reviews and on Apple or Spotify. Leave 5-star review on Apple with some words or a nice Spotify comment. Read it out loud next time on the show. We don't have any this week, so is what it is. And then you can also find us in a few different Discord servers, the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, as well as my own Discord server, the Ben and Friends Podcasting Discord, where you can find this show and all the other shows that I host, which are the Final Fantasy Lorecast, the Gundam Lorecast, the Wizardry World Lorecast, and the Witcher Lorecast. So, really cool stuff. Nothing newsworthy really right now. So
I got 3 items real quick.
Ooh, you have 3?
3. Unfortunately, starting off sad, today's the 1-year anniversary of the passing of James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
So take a moment of silence. Take a moment of silence to remember the great voice of Darth Vader. On to more lighter heart news, though. There have been art leaks of the KOTOR remake or remaster, I'm not sure which, of Kashyyyk.
What?
Yes. Supposedly there is leaked art somewhere out there. Don't know if it's real or not. Decide for yourself. Also, there is a new VR Star Wars game coming out. It's kind of weird. It's called Star Wars Beyond Victory. It's a pod racing game of sorts. It's kind of takes elements of Outlaw, no Jedi or anything like that. It's just, pod racers dealing with crooks and criminal organizations and pod racing and whatnot.
So
that's coming to the MetaQuest 3.
Ooh, interesting. Sorry for everybody who heard a toddler yelling and screaming. She is loud.
You should see him. You should see him in the Zoom chat. You just see him waving his arm like. Oh
my god! Yeah, that's someone else in his house. I am looking at the leaked art, concept art for Kashyyyk. It is very Xbox, like original KOTOR, like looking art, which is very interesting.
Yeah. So, concept art from
cool.
2021 version.
Oh, from the 2021 version.
Which makes me think, is there a 2025 version?
No, that 2021 version was probably Aspire's, and they're not on the project anymore. So, it's Saber Interactive, for anybody who doesn't know that. They did announce last year, like a couple weeks before Star Wars Celebration started, that they are still currently working on the game. So it is still a thing. So hopefully I'm hoping to see maybe something at the Game Awards, which would be really, really cool. So who knows?
I won't be holding my breath.
I won't either. But hey, we are getting Star Wars. What's the company game? What's it called?
Zero Company
next year. So hey, we have that coming out, and that's canon, and it's set during the Clone Wars, which is even better.
See, my only hope is that apparently it's being made by the same people who did XCOM. And if you played XCOM 1, you're just praying like hell that the 95% hit
actually
95
hits.
Let me finish. The 95% hit rate is actually 95%.
And not 95% missing.
Yes.
Because I had that all the time playing XCOM, even XCOM 2, where it's like 95% and then it completely misses. It's like, that's not how percentages work. Every single time.
Yeah, it's like you get like 3 shots, 95% all of them, miss. Mother! It made me rage quit that game.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. Anyway, with that being said, there is some fun fact here. If you type in Ben of Temeria on Google, it actually gives you stats of my socials and all the podcasts and stuff I do. I don't know if you saw that on the Discord. It is freaking hilarious. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, he's legit.
Really?
Yeah, no, go do it. It's on Google AI.
Oh my god, yes, it's AI overview.
Yeah, it's freaking hysterical. It's great. It means I made it, people. I've made it. Google accepts me.
Wait a second, it doesn't mention Holocron history.
It mentions Star Wars.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
It says The Witcher, Wizarding World, and Final Fantasy. I feel left out.
Hang on, let me see here. Google.com.
You can tell we can easily go off of different rants, listeners.
Oh, absolutely. Literally, if you just put in Ben of and then TE, it literally just comes up as Ben of Temeria. That is fantastic. So, yeah, right here. Ben of Temeria refers to Brandon, who's me, a podcaster who has several lore-focused podcasts, including The Witcher Lorecast, Holocron History, Star Wars, Final Fantasy Lorecast, and the Wizarding World Lorecast.
Okay, you gotta send me a screenshot of that, because this one's saying podcaster, voice actor, cosplayer, known
which is all true.
And podcasting for Witcher Lorecast, Wizarding World, and Final Fantasy.
Yeah, right here. It's on it shows Holocron, so.
Yeah, not on my version.
Boom. Well, your version's not good.
We're using the same version.
Anyway, let's get back into more of Bossk.
Ever wonder where Tropicana got its name? The tropics. And every time you enjoy a glass, you're not just drinking juice. You're taking a trip. Stepping into sunshine and embarking on a flavorful journey into the tropics where ripe fruit is crafted into wildly delicious juice. And the best part? No passport required. Tropicana. Give life some juice.
So now Bossk is incarcerated. He's in jail.
Yay. I mean, oh no.
Oh no. So both Bossk and Boba were taken prisoner by Republic forces that arrived to Florim soon after, and they were brought to the Republic Judiciary Central Detention Center on Coruscant. Upon arriving to the facility, they were met by Windu. Boba angrily confronted him and told him that he would never forgive him, but Windu told him that he would have to.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't, Windu.
So, over the course of their stint in prison, Bossk saw something in the young Boba and grew protective of him, acting as a bodyguard and protecting him from the fellow inmates. Sometime after his own prison sentence, the notorious and famed bounty hunter Cad Bane approached Boba and Bossk, and in return was inciting a prison riot, promised to make them a cut of a heavy price that he would get from the criminal mastermind Morlo Evol once free.
See, my guess is that Bossk did have history with Jango, because they were both in a bounty hunter business, and I'm guessing they crossed paths. And he probably highly regarded Jango, so he wanted to protect Boba, since he was just the kid in an adult prison, by the way. Yeah. Sending a 10-year-old into an adult prison.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure they don't have like a juvie in Star Wars. It's just prison as a whole, because
yeah, but you gotta have age separation and
do
sex
you though
separation.
When people just go off and kill whoever whenever?
I mean, there is a high security facilities, I'm sure.
I mean, Boba did try to kill and do mass murder, so
he did do mass murder.
True.
He brought down
he did bring that's right, he did bring down the entire ship. So yeah, people died. A lot of people died. So yes, I would say he's tried as an adult. So to start the riot, Boba had to pick a fight with one of the newest inmates, Rako Hardin. Bossk watched as Boba started an argument with Hardin in the cafeteria and cheered on his young charge as the two entered a fistfight. Hardin managed to subdue Boba as the two prison guards entered the fray, and Bossk stood up from his table. Bossk walked over to the guards and picked them up by their heads, slamming them together and knocking them out. Bossk growled at Hardin and told him that he was the problem with Boba, and he had a problem with him too.
It's like, here's my big brother. You're gonna have to deal with him now.
And where we're at? Where was I? Oh, so sometime after. Where was I? Oh, there we go. The Trandoshan picked up Hardin by his back and the hip and threw him across the cafeteria table. Four guards surrounded Bossk, prodding him with electrostaffs. Bossk growled and began attacking them, which encouraged the two other inmates. In the cafeteria, attacked the guards across the room. Amid the riot, Bossk took out several more guards, but ultimately he and Boba were unable to escape, unlike Bane, Evil, and Hardin.
And by the way, Rako Hardin is an undercover Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I think this is. I'm pretty sure this is before that.
No, this is it.
Is this during that?
Yeah, because Rako Hardin is in there for killing Obi-Wan Kenobi, even though he's not dead.
Oh, that's right. Right. That's right.
This is the plan to kidnap Palpatine on Naboo.
That's right. Yep. So sometime after the riot, Bane and Vol were rearrested and brought back to the prison. At some point after his return, Bane sat with Bossk and Boba during their lunch block to tell them about what happened after they escaped. Bossk and Boba wanted to know what they would get the credits that they were promised, but Bane told them that they were all had them was a story.
Kind of felt gypped, I'm sure.
Oh, I would have.
Oh, yeah.
It sucks. So Bane began explaining that he and Hardin joined Evil in his plot to kidnap Republic Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, though the job went awry when it was revealed that Hardin was in fact an undercover Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. Once he had finished, he turned to Boba and admitted that his defeat made him wonder if he should retire and let Fett take his place as the best bounty hunter in the galaxy. Though reluctantly added Bossk's name when the Trandoshan hissed at him as Bossk enjoyed Bane's food. After the Duros decided to give him over to him, Boba told Bane that it wasn't his time to retire yet, saying that he and Bossk had a big plan for the future and invited him to take part in it.
This would probably be the last time these two talk nicely to each other. Because in the Book of Boba Fett, they are trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
And Bane's not even retired at that point either.
No,
technically speaking,
he doesn't really ever retire.
So I'm just wondering if he's just trying to dangle this in front of Bubba to sort of motivate
like a
him
carrot
or something.
Like, yeah. Looky here. Can you get it? Can you get it?
Slap to the face.
So after being released from prison, Bossk and Fett made their way to the Outer Rim world of Tatooine, where they formed a new bounty hunter posse called the Crate's Claw. Utilizing their notoriety and Fett's heritage, the crew grew to include bounty hunters Dengar, Lots Razi, C-21 Heisinger, and Oaked. The group based themselves in the spaceports of Mos Eisley, where they took a job from the Belgian Mayor Ragoso to escort cargo to the planet of Corset. On the day the team planned to depart for Corset, Bossk, Razi, and Oak went to the local cantina to have a few drinks.
Now, I seriously doubt they were released from prison, considering what they did. My money's on Breakout.
Yeah, who knows? I don't remember. It's been a while since I watched Clone Wars.
Somehow they just escaped, I think.
Possibly. So while Bossk and Razi sat at the booth, Oak went to the bar where he began flirting with the Dathomirian woman named Asajj Ventress, which you might know for this story. When Oak grabbed her arm, she ignited a lightsaber through his stomach, killing him. Once the commotion died down, Bossk ordered her to drink in the tab and motioned to her to sit down with him and Razi. Ventress asked Bossk what he wanted, and he introduced himself and Razi. Razi went to tell her about a problem. Ventress reached out for her lightsabers, and Bossk pointed out to the dead Oak and told her that she had killed one of their team.
So Bossk's got an eye for talent, I think, here.
Or, hey, you killed my man. You now need to replace him because we're down someone, and you just killed him. So the Dathomiri sarcastically apologized for the incident. Bossk asked her where she got her lightsabers, and she replied that she had stolen them. Bossk asked if he was a bounty hunter, and she said that she was not, to which the tradition asked if she was ever considered it, given her disposition. Sitting down at the table, Ventress asked if it was paid well. Razi told her that it did, but Bossk got to the point to inform Ventress that they had a job to do, and that she could either join the team in Oak's place or turn over to the authorities. Which the authorities won't do anything.
What authorities? You're in Tatooine. The only authorities are the Hutts.
Mm-hmm. So with little choice, Ventress agreed to Bossk's deal and joined the team, him and Razi. The trio left the cantina and headed for the Crate Claw's base. Where they entered the small base, Dengar teased Bossk and asked who his girlfriend was, referring to Ventress. Bossk told him to shut up and continue inside. Bossk greeted Boba as his boss, and which prompted Ventress to mock the idea that Boba was their boss. Which, don't blame her. So when what her name was, Ventress said that she had none. She confronted Boba, mocking his height and age. Bossk hissed at her and then told Fett that they brought her there because she had killed Oak. Putting his arm around her, Bossk coldly told her that if she backed out, they had another way of setting her dead.
Bit creepy there, Bossk. Bit creepy.
Mm-hmm. With the matter cleared when Ventress had agreed to join, Fett told the team that they were ready to go, but Ventress questioned why they hadn't settled the payment yet. Boba angrily told her that she would get her cut once the job was finished, same as the other hunters. The group left Tatooine aboard the Hound's Tooth and traveled to Corset's space station, where Bossk landed the ship. As they departed the ship, the team was met by Mayor Ragoso. Ragoso ushered them to a hollow table where he explained the mission. The team would be escorting a sub-tram in the planet's crystalline caverns. The tram was to host cargo valuable to Corset's dictator, Lord Ota Blank. Dengar asked what the cargo was, but Ragoso told him it was none of the hunters' concern. Ragoso and the bounty hunters headed to the series of turbolifts nearby, where they would descend past the planet's hostile surface, and to the crystal underworld below. Bossk entered one of the lifts alone, and altogether he and the others were brought to the tram station.
Yeah, the Quetzal planet, I swear, is the only planet that I ever seen with a space elevator.
Yes.
In the entirety of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
Which makes me think how they actually built it in the first place.
Good point. Never thought of that. So once they got to off the lifts, the bounty hunters helped Ragoso's soldiers bring the cargo to the tram, and they walked towards the train. Bossk noticed the small box and sardonically, what? Sorry.
Sardax.
I don't know. Asked Razi if it was what the cargo was. Lance responded that she didn't care what it was as long as they got paid. Once the cargo was fully loaded, the team split into 3 groups. Razi and Heisinger stayed with Ragoso and the cargo, while Fett and Bossk guarded the engine room.
Because splitting a party is always a good idea. Just ask any D&D player.
Yeah, no, don't do that. We almost had trouble with that in our own D&D campaign. Securing the back platform where Dengar and Ventress, not long into the journey, Dengar contacted the other teams and told them that they had company, a group of Kage warriors seeking to hijack the cargo from Ragoso and Alto Blanc. Immediately after getting Dengar's transmission, Bossk and Boba noticed footsteps coming above the tram. A group of 3 warriors entered the engine room in the front of the car. The 3 more entered the back. While Boba fought off the 3 in the front, Bossk shot down one of the back and engaged the others. Bossk and Boba managed to hold them off, and Boba left Bossk to check on the cargo.
Now, did Boba have his suit, armor at this point, or is he wearing
regular gear? I don't think he did. I think he just had regular gear at this point. I don't think he had his Mando armor yet.
Okay.
So on the back platform, Dengar had pushed over the side of the tram, and Ventress was alone to fend off an increasing number of attackers. She calmed the team and told them that she needed a hand, and Boba ordered Bossk to go help her. While taking out the last of the warriors in the engine room, Bossk threw one against a wall, accidentally shorting the lights of the tram. Bossk told Boba that he was on his way to begin heading towards the back platform.
Now, throughout this entire episode, people just keep getting throwing off this tram.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, did they have to walk back to the previous space elevator? If so, that would have been a long walk.
Yeah, that I don't know. So while in the car between the engine room and the back, he was attacked by a group of warriors. One blew blinding dust into Bossk's eyes, effectively leaving Bossk unable to see. One of the warriors grabbed a hold of Bossk's side, and the others pummeled him and brought him closer to the edge of the tram. Although Bossk fought back, he had no match, incapacitated and pushed overboard. He managed to land on all 4s and roared in anger as the tram sped away.
I love they say blinding dust, but really it's just pocket sand.
Pretty much. Yes.
Pocket sand.
Yeah. So shortly after Bossk was pushed overboard, both Razi and Heisinger ended up overboard as well. While Ventress and Boba continued with the mission, the other hunters made their way back to the Hound's Tooth. Once the Kage warriors were defeated, Ventress and Boba entered the argument about the payment. After a brief standoff, Ventress tied and gagged Boba and placed him in the cargo box, which was discovered to be containing a Kage girl, Pluma Sadi, who the warriors were eager to have returned safely.
Yeah, essentially she was a slave bride for this Slimo.
Yes, he was. Or yes, they were. Yeah. So Ventress presented the cargo to Otto Blanc and took the payment and assured he wouldn't discover Boba inside until she left aboard the tram. Ventress then handed Saudi over to the Kage warriors for an additional fee, with the promised unmarked credits from Blanc and her separate payment from the Kage. Ventress returned to the Hound's Tooth, where she found Bossk and the other hunters waiting for her and Boba's return.
I like to think that's the definition of double dipping there.
Oh, yes. Absolutely, it's double dipping. Ventress handed Blank's payment, minus her share, to Bossk and presented the case to the others. Ventress asked Bossk to make sure Boba got his share. Bossk asked where he was, but all Ventress told him he would turn up. Both Rozzy and Bossk asked her about her role in the team going forward, but she made no promises and told them that she wasn't part of any team.
To be fair, I don't think she would have been much appreciated on the team after that little stunt with Boba.
Oh God, no! Boba would have it out for her. Absolutely, in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then later during the war, Bossk and Fett's syndicate of hunters stopped at the bar on level 1313 on Coruscant. Bossk was sitting at the bar drinking when the Jedi Quinlan Voss entered, posing as a bounty hunter. Voss, who was seeking a lead on the location of Bossk's former teammate Asajj Ventress, tried to get attention by loudly asking if anybody had any job leads, which Bossk coldly rebuked. When Voss casually referenced Ventress, however, Bossk's attention was piqued and was laughed before buying Voss a drink.
It's interesting he remains loyal to Ventress at that point.
Yeah, but like,
I mean, bounty hunters sell each other out. No,
they do, but they're also like, since they're part of the guild, there is a code, so there's that.
Yeah, but how many bounty hunter guilds are there though in the galaxy?
None. There's just one.
No, there's like subgroups. I swear there are subgroups of bounty hunters.
Oh, there's subgroups, but there's only one guild, which has a code. So Bossk inquired if she had stolen a job from Voss and instead asked if he knew where she was, to which Bossk answered he had no idea, but after further pondering from Voss, took him to a back alcove where Boba and the other hunters under his employ were seated. Bossk told his boss that Voss was looking for No Name, and Boba eventually gave the undercover Jedi the information he needed to locate and confront Ventress on Pantora. Before Voss departed, Bossk remarked that he had hoped Voss was man enough for the task.
Yeah. So I think this is the Dark Jedi or Dark Disciple.
Dark Disciple, yep. So not long after, Boba and the Crate's Claw was now included to the feared Kyrizo bounty hunter Embo, who sought out their old associate Ventress, who needed help rescuing Voss from Count Dooku's palace on Sereno. While initially spurring of the offer due to Ventress' betrayal to Fett, the hunters, in particular Bossk and Las Rozzy, were won over when offered 250,000 credits. Bossk and the rest of the hunters provided distraction while Ventress entered the castle to retrieve Voss and were able to trap Dooku underneath some netting. However, the appearance of the dark side wielding Voss forced the hunters and Ventress to flee.
I'm sorry, but you're asking me to go after the enemy camp, as it were, for only 250,000 credits and piss off probably the leader of the CSI. I'm sorry, I'm going to need a heck of a lot more credits of that.
Nah. I mean, credits are credits, man.
I know, but it seems like you're cutting off half of your business right there and pissing off a very dangerous person who's known to use the Force and not use any restrictions on it. So.
Yeah. I guess. No. It's whatever. So, but yeah, that's what we have on Bossk this week.
Part 1 done.
Part 1
on to part 2.
Done. Yes. Part 1 done. Now moving on to part 2 of 4. So yeah, any final thoughts on Bossk?
Well, we're just beginning this journey, but Bossk is definitely one of the legendary bounty hunters in the Star Wars universe, in my opinion.
Yes, absolutely.
Wasn't he in a Clone Wars arc where they're hunting Ahsoka and a bunch of other younglings on a planet? Was that him? Was he part of that?
Maybe? I can't remember. It's been a minute. But anyway, we're not. I don't think we're not done with the Clone Wars, so we'll have more in part 2. So if we do, we'll have it in part 2. So yeah, cool stuff. But anyway, thank you everybody for listening to Holocron Histories, and may the Force be with you.
Listening to Holocron History, Star Wars Canon versus Legends. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, the Ben and Friends podcasting Discord, where you can share your thoughts, experiences, and love for the Star Wars lore. And don't forget, for the Republic.